Hello everybody and welcome to my channel. My name is Penapple and today I am doing the Move Objects Off challenge. So if you're interested in this build, you can download it off of the gallery. My origin ID is penappleYT, and for once you won't have to make sure to turn off or to turn on Move Objects before you download this, because I built this house entirely without Move Objects on. So if you have no idea what I'm talking about, basically there is a cheat that you can use where you just type in like bb.moveObjects and it will make it so that you can move things around without and you can like mesh them together, and you don't have to worry about like space being an issue. The only thing that you can't do with that on is like you can't make it so that computers like are on the ground or something. There are just like certain objects like the cash register and stuff like that that you can only place on certain like surfaces like a microwave or something. But anyways, so I still was able to use, I think, the shift key, or the alt key, I forget which one. Oh, I'm sorry. So I can move things around on the grid, but they still had to be like within a certain distance of each other. So if you see me moving stuff, like it's not, that isn't Move Objects off, or it isn't Move Objects on, it's just me moving stuff around, if that makes any sense. Anyways, this build was a little bit easier than I thought it would be. There were definitely some struggles. Mostly I just kind of had to be creative. Like you can see here, I'm already kind of trying to plan where I'm going to put that bed, because the bed needs at least 3 by 2 tiles, but really it needs more like 3 by 4 to fit in bedside tables, and so I didn't actually manage that, but you know. But I love how this house turned out. It's super cute, super high contrast, part like just with the colors, the black, white, and the green, but almost always a good color scheme. Black, white, and then whatever random color like a red or something. It's fantastic. But I only just realized after I completely finished building this that I managed to make that my school colors back from high school. So, I mean, there's only so many color combinations in the world, but I was just laughing because back in my high school we had green, black, and white, and we color coded the different grades, and so the like 10th graders were green, the 11th graders were black, and the seniors were white. And so like on those different spirit days we would wear those colors, and like it was such a big deal to be wearing all white. Like oh my gosh, it was just one of those things like where you're like, I've earned my way to this, like wear this one color on this one day. It was so ridiculous. I remember getting ready for the school year, going like school like shopping and like making sure to pick out extra like white clothes, you know, and looking back, it was just so ridiculous. Oh my goodness. But that was like 6 years ago, which is terrifying. So, you know, I'm old now, unfortunately. But here you can see I'm starting to get into the color scheme. I have not edited this very much. Like I cut out just a few things. So if there are any long pauses, I apologize. I am running short on time this week, which you might have noticed is why I'm actually doing this build this week. In my last build, I said that I would do the house from the Ponyo movie this week, but that didn't happen. I don't even know why I said that, because I knew that I wouldn't be able to get it done. So I don't know, maybe wishful thinking, but I do apologize for that. I don't like promising things and then being like, never mind, see you later. But yeah, so that will maybe be next week. No promises. I don't know. My life is kind of like up in the air right now. I'm like back and forth. I'm doing crazy things. Like it's a good way. I mean, like the first thing that happened, like the main thing, is my best friend's bachelorette party is this weekend. I'm so excited. Another reason why I didn't want to do that this week, because I don't really feel comfortable talking about bachelorette party during Ponyo, like no. Anyways, I can't really talk about it now because I haven't gone. I have no idea how crazy it's gonna get. I'm hoping not that crazy. But knowing my friends, I don't know. I don't even know. I might be scarred for life, you guys. If I am, I don't get to share it with you. But anyways, I am going to also be in her wedding as a bridesmaid, and I'm so excited. And fun little story way back when in like March, I did my Lux Rose apartment build, and I just got a comment on it the other day. And during that build, I talked about, you know, I'm gonna be a bridesmaid and how excited I am. And I just got a comment the other day where the person was like, oh, you know, my sister's getting married and she's gonna have the same color for her bridesmaid dresses, and I'm gonna be a bridesmaid. And it was just such a cool comment because that build was so long ago. I mean, March, and here I have somebody who is having a similar-ish experience now, and you know, the bachelorette party is just around the corner, and it was just cool. It was just cool. But yeah, so the interior of this build is the downstairs floor is cramped, which is kind of funny. I don't know why. I'm like kind of like a masochist, I guess, but I was like, let's just make a small house. Like, who decides to do that when they're doing a move objects off challenge? Like, who's like, you know, this challenge where you need like a lot of room to place things? Let's make a small build. Let's just not give me any room. Oh my gosh. For a second, like, I swear to goodness gracious, I've been wanting to do a tiny home for a while now. And so for a second I was like, oh, let's do a tiny home. And I was like, I thought about it though, and I was like, what kind of crazy person are you? Like, who would do a tiny home for a move objects off challenge? It'd be impossible. That's like kind of the whole point of a tiny house challenge, is you have to merge objects together and get them to work. Anyways, but I trying to fit in a dining-ish room, a living room, and a kitchen into this space was definitely difficult, partially because of where I put all the windows, but I love my windows so much and I wasn't willing to sacrifice them. Also, I mean, where I put the chimney too, I wanted it symmetrical, so I didn't really want to move it from the spot, and since I have a chimney and a fireplace in about the same spot, it would just be completely crazy to like offset the fireplace from the chimney. Oh my gosh, that'd be like, oh, that'd be terrible. But anyway, so I managed to fit in this like little table over here, and I do end up taking away one chair, which I think works because I kind of, for this house, I imagine as being like a 2-kid, 1-parent home, like a kind of a single parent situation. You could definitely fit in a second parent, but mostly I only thought of it that way because I didn't have enough room to put in 2 bedside tables. So not that the number of bedside tables corresponds to the number of people in the bed. Could you imagine? like if, I don't even know, if you want to fit 3 people in the bed, you have to have 3 bedside tables. Where would you even put the third one? I can tell you where. At the foot of your bed. I talked about this in my last build where I said, you know, I didn't have a night table growing up. I just had a dresser. Well, I actually did have a night table. It didn't go by the side of my bed. It went at the foot of my bed though, so I was an odd kid. I had a small room. Like, I had a quite the small room, and my parents made it smaller when they built the addition, so that was lovely. I mean, it was bigger than my brother's room to begin with, and so I guess that's fair, I guess. Oh my gosh. My brother would be laughing at me right now. He thinks I'm so spoiled, which I guess I kind of am, but whatever. But yeah, so I think the hardest part about this was definitely some of the clutter, because like there's just some objects that you can't fit places and you're kind of like, but why? But I still managed to get in quite a lot of clutter. I was determined. Like, the thing about this build mostly is that it just takes time, and if you're willing to put in the time it takes to like move objects, like, oh my gosh, you guys, I feel like half of this build was spent just like micro adjusting objects, just trying to find that sweet spot and trying to put it in. And then when I found it, it was like I took my hands away from the keyboard and was like, okay, don't touch it, leave it, don't touch it. Just, it's there now. Like, that's where it lives. We're good. Just leave it. Because it was just, so there were just some like really like little spots where you could fit stuff. And it was really like, I think I'm about to put in a mirror here next to this dresser. Why do I do that? Whenever I stumble over a word, I'm like, let's make it worse. Like, oh, you slightly stumbled over the word dresser by calling it a dresser. Let's just go. Anyways, here's that new mirror. But yeah, here, I'm super excitable today. But I'll tell you why in a second. Well, let's actually try and talk about the build like at all. But yeah, I imagine this as being like a preteen room. And I kind of tried to make it more neutral, but it did end up being like incorporating a lot of purple, whatever that means. But I kind of thought this is kind of like an artist room, and I did have my sim go in and start painting a mural on that garage wall. Like I imagine this room as having been the garage, and like maybe the single parent had one kid and they had them in the bedroom upstairs, and then when there was another baby on the way, they asked their kid if they wanted to move downstairs, and they like renovated the garage so that's actually a bedroom. So that's kind of what I thought was happening there. But I had my sim start to paint the garage mural, and I just kind of liked how it looked with just a little bit of paint on it, so I just kind of left it. And that's partially because the lighting was good and it takes time to paint them, and so I didn't want the lighting to go away while I was trying to paint it. So it's all about the lighting, especially once you get the really high quality lighting in your game. That's like the trick to getting like good thumbnails and screenshots and all that jazz, panoramic shots, is having good lighting. Like, can go a long way. But I had a lot of trouble with the decor of this, just placing stuff, because there's a lot of random rules that I don't really get. Like, one of the things I didn't realize is that if it has a canvas that sticks out from the wall, like it actually takes up space on the floor beneath it. But if it's just like a poster, then it doesn't always, but sometimes it does. I don't even know. It's ridiculous. There was just a lot. Like, it's just a lot of stuff. But I'm guessing that it all works. I didn't even bother to test this one, you guys, because I was like, well, if the game says that it fits, then it has to fit, right? Probably not, but I feel like I was already like so exhausted from just trying to fit everything in. Like, I mean, part of the trouble too is whenever I don't like how something goes, or if I don't think it really fits, I like take it out and place it somewhere else, and then I'll bring it back in, and it'll just be a random location because it fits anywhere. But when I was doing this, I couldn't just put it in a random spot. I had to find a place where it actually fit for a second, so I could like set it aside and go pick out something new, like you see I put on the lawn there. So that was its own little thing. And at one point I actually forgot that I put a shoe rack like in the middle of the room, and I ended up taking it back out, and it was a process. But anyways, exciting news. I started applying for jobs yesterday. Like, I just started putting out some like resumes and stuff on Craigslist, and I guess it's because I live in Seattle now, but I just started getting interview invitations. Like, I got 3 of them. I posted like midday yesterday, and I have 3 scheduled already. I'm in awe. I'm terrified, you guys. My anxiety is through the roof. This spot right here, so annoying. I don't know why some stuff didn't fit, but others did, and I just wanted it centered. What I really wanted in this spot was just that little coat like rack thing, but no, that wasn't allowed. So I ended up being able to put that in. For whatever reason, that like collection of paintings worked. So I don't know why, but it did. So who knows? But anyways, yes, jobs. I'm terrified. I am anxious. That's part of where some of my nervous energy comes from. So yes, we'll see how that turns out. Where I used to live before I moved, it was a lot more rural. Like, it wasn't really that rural. It was still like a city, I guess. But I don't think I got a single response when I answered different things on Craigslist. Like, not a single one. But all of a sudden I got, like, I had to like pass out my resume before I got any sort of interest. But apparently, I don't know. I'm like terrified. But here you can see this is where I'm deciding to make a toddler room, and I do not have the oh, here's one of those pauses. I'm so sorry. I was probably talking to my boyfriend or something, but I don't have the toddler stuff pack yet. I'm sorry, guys. I might not have it for a while, and I might not. When I do the Ponyo house, I'm going to use it because I wanted to use the fence for the Ponyo house, just because the fence in there is kind of rickety looking and like wibbly wobbly. Oh gosh. Anyways, so that's part of the reason why I held off on the Ponyo build, but I don't know when I'm going to be doing. I'm definitely not going to be doing a review just because there's so many out there. But yeah. So I am sorry about that. I'm kind of dropping the ball there, but with everything going on, I don't even know. I'm a little concerned. Everything's going so fast. Oh my goodness. Sorry. I'm like just so stressed out about it. But yeah, so I don't know when that's going to happen, but I wanted to make sure to add in a toddler room just because it's been ages since I've done one, and I know I'll probably be doing a fair amount, you know, kind of ish more now that we have more toddler stuff, although we didn't get any new beds in there, so maybe I won't be doing a huge amount, but I'll probably do like a park or something, who knows. If you have any suggestions for what you want to see regarding toddlers, also sorry about this pause here, another one, sorry, but if you do, make sure to let me know in the comments down below. I have done a daycare before, so I don't really want to do another one, but if you have anything you want to see, I'm happy to accept ideas. I have felt a little bit idealless, I guess. I don't know, it's difficult because sorry, I got distracted. The issue sometimes with YouTube for me is I am a planner, a header kind of person. I like to know what I'm doing at least 1 or 2 weeks in advance. So because it takes me a really long time to get these together for you guys, just with, you know, building, and then I have to speed up the footage, which takes my computer a fair amount of time. Like I do it overnight usually. And then I film the intro and I have to put that together, and that takes all that time, and I'll, you know, making the thumbnail, and then once the footage is all sped up, then I edit it down, and then I do the voiceover, and which could be like a half hour, and so it takes a while. So I try and like it really does take me about like 4 days to a week to really like put together every single build. And I mean, I obviously take breaks, I'm not working 24/7, that would just be really sad. But yeah, so things get really delayed. So yeah, but anyways, so that's part of the issue. So sometimes like I feel like if I don't have an idea of what I'm going to do next week, then I've run out of all inspiration, which isn't true. It's not true, but this room came together. I really love it. It's a little bit simple, partially because at this point I was getting really tired of trying to fit in clutter, like just a plant. I just wanted a plant in that corner, and I didn't want it like this game. I don't understand what their criteria for space is. Like some of the things have like really big space requirements, and I have no idea why. But you know, like just a painting here, like why can't I put a painting here? Like what, like why does it have to be off center? Like, oh my gosh. I don't even know. I was getting annoyed. But upcoming is the landscaping, and that just was like, oh my gosh. But yeah, this house ended up being pretty small, you know? Like, I didn't fit in a huge amount of stuff to do. I usually try and do that. I don't know, it's hard. Sometimes feel like there's only so much you can put into a build. Like, you know, like, oh, an easel. I feel like I have an easel in almost every single build or something like that, but I don't know. It's always good when we get new content. Unfortunately, the new toddler stuff is going to not really be giving us a huge amount of new stuff, especially not indoors. I just realized I haven't said a single peep about pets. Peep pets. Why do I need to stop like cracking myself up because I say something that isn't funny, and then I chuckle like it's the funniest thing anybody's ever said, and then I go quiet for a moment. Like that's a very similar laugh to my mom. Like we laugh and we're like, ah ha ha, and then we just pause. Like now, oh my gosh. Anyways, pets. I am excited. I'm really excited. Like I don't really know what else to say. I'm actually kind of glad we won't be able to control them, because I don't know, that it's too much for me. When I have when I have the ability to control things like that, it's too much. Kind of like, this is a really unpopular opinion. I don't know if I've ever said this before, but I'm actually kind of glad we don't have a color wheel. Like, or maybe not just like a color wheel. I'm glad we don't have all of the texture options and the ability to change every single thing, because that made it really hard for me, because I felt like, you know, it kind of in a way almost traps you into trying to make everything match. Or I mean, just if you're like me, just like, I don't know, but don't get me wrong, we need more options, or maybe even a color wheel, you know, like I'm dying for more options. But I'm glad it's not exactly like how it is in The Sims 3. Very unpopular opinion. Feel free to roast me. And no, wait, no. Why do I say that? Don't feel free to be mean to me ever. Anyways, what was I even talking about? Pets. Wow, we really got off topic. Anyways, I'm really excited for pets. A little bit nervous. I'm not quite sure how that's going to work out with game quality, but all of the new furniture and stuff looks really fun. I'm going to be making a legion of pugs, you know, so look out for that. I'm planning a whole video. I'm just going to be like the 7 pug challenge, or however many pugs they let me have in the game. That's how many pugs I'm going to have. So that'll be really fun. I love pugs. If you didn't know that already, like, it's a little bit less obvious now that my channel art is a little bit different. Like, it used to feature pugs a bit more heavily, but I love pugs. Like, I go to pug conventions. Like, it's a thing. But yeah, so I think the only like big thing I have with the pets thing is I scoured the trailer and I didn't see a matching living room set. Like, oh my gosh, you guys, like, I saw a 3-seater sofa and I saw an armchair, and the 3-seater sofa, I don't know how big of a fan I am of that thing. The armchair looked interesting, but you guys, there's no matching 2-seater sofa. If you've been on this channel for like 2 seconds, you know how frustrated. Yeah, okay. I can't even talk about it. I get so mad that they don't have matching living room sets. They had them for the base game. I don't know what happened. What did the one person who was like, yeah, no guys, we really should have matching like living room sets, did that person just like run off and die or something? Like, anyways, I get way too mad about that. Way too mad. But, you know, other than that, it looks interesting. Like, they're going to be octagonal roofs though. I am so excited. I posted the best Twitter post. I tweeted, I guess that's what you call it. And I said, I am shouting from the octagonal rooftops, because it's true. I am so excited. Octagonal roof should have been in the base game. We have the ability to make octagonal rooms. We should have had octagonal roofs, but I will take it. I am very excited that they're giving it to us now. Because, yes. But I am not yet. So little truth thing. Right in the middle of talking about how mad I was about the lack of matching furniture in this new thing, I actually went off for like an hour and a half. Actually more like 2 hours. I just like skedaddled. I had to go to a doctor's appointment, so if that sounds weird, that's why. And now I don't know what to talk about, because I feel like I've deceived you guys. Like, I think I did a pretty good job. Like, it didn't actually sound like I walked off and left for 2 hours, but now I don't know what to say because I'm so proud of myself for deceiving you. But oh, you know what's annoying? These columns, these little, like, this little trio of columns in each corner made it a lot harder to place things that you would normally be able to place in that corner, because for whatever reason they take up extra room. Beats me. Like, it's really rude. I was really frustrated. Like, this whole little back deck area was really hard, and I ended up not really being able to fit anything there. Like, I ended up being able to put a table right there with some chairs, and I managed to keep that stove, I think. And then, but in each corner, the only thing I was able to put in was a lantern, and the only reason why it looked kind of good is because I was able to size it up to make it a bit bigger. But yeah, that was really obnoxious. Like, that's all I could fit there, and it was really, really frustrating. Like, but I guess it was kind of good. I mean, I like how it turned out. But I think we are coming up on the end. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this build. If you did, feel free to give me a like, a comment, or subscribe, especially if you're interested in being notified as to my next build is. I don't know what it's gonna be. Don't ask me. Well, feel free to ask me. That just sounded mean. I don't want to be mean. Oh my goodness. I'm supposed to be nice. Anyways, I hope that you guys are all having a really great day. If you have any ideas, let me know in the description, not in the description, in the comments section down below. I will see you guys next time. Bye!